There's this quote that I heard many years ago, and it happens to be something that Tony Robbins said. And it's this: the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. The older I get, the more that rings true for me in so many areas of life, including business and marketing. Because the questions you ask about your marketing, it matches the level at which you're thinking about it, and often the level at which your business grows. So, in this episode, I want to talk about the marketing questions that successful women are asking themselves and the questions they're not asking themselves, and how shifting your questions can completely change your business. Let's go. Welcome to Be Weird Marketing, marketing conversations for women who want less noise and better decisions. I'm Ashley Conway. I partner with established entrepreneurs who are done chasing trends and tired of carrying their marketing alone. This isn't a how-to show. It's a thinking space, a place to slow down, cut through the noise, and focus on what actually supports your business at this stage. Because honestly, marketing doesn't need more ideas. It needs better decisions. So let's think about this statement. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. I know that doesn't make any sense, right? But it will if I give you a couple of examples. Because like I said, I think this applies in a lot of areas of life. So let's look at a couple of areas. Let's start with time management. So early on, we might ask ourselves a question like, how can I get more done today? That's common, right? If you have a family, you have a business, you're managing a home, there's a lot there. So you're asking yourself, how can I just get more done? But later on in life, as you get a little older, wiser, the question becomes, what actually deserves my time in this season? One leads to doing more. The other leads to investing your time into the most important things to you. It means you're spending your time on the right things to you. Let's look at money as another example. Early on, as an adult, your question may be, how can I make more money this month? But then later, as you accumulate more money and your financial situation is different, the question becomes, how do I use this money in a way that supports the life I want or the legacy that I want to leave? Things like that. So it's the same topic, it's just a different level of thinking. And those two examples illustrate that some questions lead to activity. They tell you the things to do, to add to your calendar, to put on your to-do list. Other questions lead to direction. Now, what we want to do is to have less questions that are tied to activities and more questions that are tied to direction. This is the secret of successful women business owners. So let me take these examples that were life examples, personal examples, right? Now let me bring this into the business world. I have this fantastic client. We've worked together for a long time. And as we do as business owners, we evolve throughout time. So she is an interior designer. She owns her own design firm. And one of the things that I have loved watching is how she has evolved in the way she talks to her homeowner clients. So the typical interior design questions that you can expect, things that homeowners are asking, things that designers are trying to answer for people, are questions like these. What's trending right now? What colors are popular? Like, what's the Pantone color of the year? What increases resale value? So they're kind of limiting things. They're making decisions about what they want from their home based on what will sell well later. Or what look is everyone doing? Like, what's in and what's out? Can I still do window treatments? Or what about white kitchens? They're asking questions like that, but not my client. My client has turned things on its head. Instead, she is asking people, what lights you up? What makes a house, a space, feel like a home to you? What inspires you in art, in travel, in fashion, whatever it may be? What inspires you? So when she asks those questions, something very interesting and different happens. The conversation shifts from this very social media comparison trends world that we live in. It shifts from that to what matters to them. It takes them deeper into who they are, what they love, what to them makes a house feel like a home. And so the end result is that my client is not just designing a space, she is creating a place that feels like a refuge to them, that represents them as a person. And she is elevating their thinking. She is changing the way that they think about their home and what that word means. It's incredible. It's incredible to watch. Now, marketing, that's a general business example, right? Marketing works the same way. Early in business, the questions we ask about marketing are very surface level. They're very tactical and practical. They are things like, what should I post this week? Should I start a podcast or a YouTube channel? Should I focus on Instagram or LinkedIn? Should I tweak something I'm offering or add this thing to it? Those are the tactical, practical questions that you ask early on. They're activity questions. But successful women, established women, are asking a different level of question. Better questions usually fall into one of four categories: direction, leverage, clarity, and ownership. So, a couple of examples of direction questions. These are questions that set the trajectory of where you're headed. Number one is, what is the job of our marketing right now in this season, this quarter, whatever you want time period you want to look at? What job do we want marketing to do? Or what outcome is our marketing responsible for? So to look at this, like an example of this would be, we are about to launch a new service or open up a new membership or whatever it is. We want the job of our marketing to be to get 250 people into this membership, or we want 50 leads coming in for this new service. So you have just given your marketing a very specific job, and everything you create is going to support that. It aligns with the business goal that you already have. It can also be a little more general. If you know, okay, I'm not launching a new service or opening something new, I am just continuing to improve the thing that I have. Then it becomes, let's narrow down marketing to, do we need more visibility, more people to know about us? Do we need to bring in more leads or calls? Do we need it to help us turn more of those leads into actual sales? You need to give it a specific job. That is a direction question. A leverage question is looking at how can you use your marketing? So what marketing that you're currently doing is already working that you haven't fully leveraged yet. So maybe there is something like, a follow-up question is, where are your best clients already coming from? So you look at those different channels of how you're getting clients, and you're saying, this is the two that work best for us. Like, let's fully lean into those and maximize those as much as we can. Let's figure out how we can repurpose those things. It's all about optimizing those things, right? That's how you leverage what you already have. The third type of question is about clarity. It's one of my favorites because I see it making the most impact in the clients that I work with. One of the first things that you look at in clarity is your messaging, the words that you're using, because what you want the messaging that you're putting out there to do 80% of the work for you. You want your messaging to instantly connect with your perfect fit client. You want it to answer their questions. You want it to show them value, and you want it to almost make the sale for you. And sometimes if you're selling something that is a passive income product, it doesn't require you to sell it. It is selling for you. So you want your messaging has a very big and important job. You want your messaging to be so clear that it connects with your best fit clients and it turns away the people that aren't a great fit for you, that would really, it would be a bad client for you. You want your messaging to turn those people away. It saves you the call of talking to them. It saves you the experience of working with them and then finding out it's bad once you're in the middle of it. Your messaging needs to do that for you already. So are the right people recognizing themselves in your messaging? And another really important thing that I touched on is that your messaging, the words you use, needs to create value. So let's say that you're working on a sales page for something that you offer. Before you get to the point toward the bottom of that page where you list the price of the thing, you need those sections above to create so much value that by the time they see their price, they are thinking, this is a great deal because I am getting so much more value than what this price is, because that makes the sale for you. When you get on a call with someone, you don't have to do much work because you've already done the work in your wording to show them all the value, the transformation, the benefits, the results that they get by working with you, buying your thing. Okay, that's clarity. Ownership is the fourth category. And this is really more zoomed out. It's a much higher level question than some of the others. It's who is actually responsible for the thinking behind our marketing, not the marketing itself. That's often an easier question to answer. You know who is helping execute, who is scheduling your emails and posting on your social media. That's the easy question. The higher level question is who is doing the thinking behind our marketing? The follow-up question from that is that person asking the right questions that lead our marketing to where we need it to go? You know, the whole purpose of marketing is to help accomplish your business goal. So is the person who is responsible for the marketing thinking, are they asking these higher level questions? Because here's the gist of the whole thing, right? The whole conversation is early on, a better business is built by doing many things. You have to wear lots of hats and do a lot of different things. But later, a better business is built by asking better questions. So when we go back to my client who's an interior designer, when she asks one of her homeowners, what lights you up? It changes the entire design conversation that they're about to have. Suddenly, they are not trying to copy what they saw on Instagram or a magazine or Pinterest. They're creating a home that reflects who they are. Marketing works the same way. The questions you ask determine the level of conversation that you're having about your business. So often the shift I see with my clients is not that they need to do more marketing. It's that they need to ask better and different questions. So often we're down in the weeds of asking these tactical questions of like, what emails should I send? How many? What should they say? And that's just for email. We're asking questions like that. But we need to take that conversation up higher to ask questions that steer, in this example, your email marketing. So if you don't currently have someone helping you think at this level in your business, you can. You can learn more about working with me at beweirdmarketing.com. I trust this has been a helpful conversation just to get your wheels turning and to help you ask yourself, what questions am I asking in my business? Am I asking tactical activity questions or am I asking direction questions? And I would love to hear from you if this has been eye-opening, what questions you are now asking yourselves. Just shoot me one or two higher level questions that you are going to ask yourself this week about the direction of your business. You can find me on Instagram at beweirdmarketing. I look forward to chatting with you there and to having another conversation here on the podcast very soon. If this episode was helpful, I'd love it if you shared it with another woman who might need to hear it as well. You can also subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss future episodes, especially if marketing has started to feel heavier than you want it to. This is where you're going to find relief. And if you want more support, resources, or to learn more about how I work with clients one-on-one, you can visit BeWeirdMarketing.com. Thanks for being here, and I can't wait to chat with you next time.